This is obscene.
This TikToker committed manslaughter. Did they apologize? No. Did they delete their platform? No. What they did do, though, was immediately go back to posting normal cosplay TikToks.
Weapon and pulled the trigger on this weapon onto someone else.
Cosplay. Love it, hate it, embrace it, get weird. It's a hobby that brings communities together. I myself have been part of the cosplay community for a decent part of my life, and I can say I've met some of the best people I know through it. But not everyone who partakes is all sunshine and lollipops, which is why we're here. Hello, side effects may include here, or Stina, whichever you prefer to call me. And today we're going to talk about Snow the Salt Queen, a 23-year-old cosplayer on TikTok and YouTube from Austin, Texas. Also went by the name Yandere Freak until recently. They popped up on my For You page every now and again, dancing around, having a good old time, seemingly doing very well with a following of over 1 million. But the one thing that always stood out to me was their comment section. A lot of hate was present, pretty much all the time. This person was just really good at pissing everyone off. I was confused. Why do they have such a hateful community? Well, it all started when Snow started cosplaying underage characters in a scandalous fashion, which, yeah, the debate over this is pretty much as old as time. Is it morally ethical to cosplay an underage character and do like a boudoir photo shoot? Probably not, but it's one of those things that people constantly argue about. Point is, it made people mad. They were rocking out teenage characters in such a way, slapping it on the front page of their Patreon. Most people moved on though, not giving this too much thought. It was a controversy, but a minimal one. Until Snow and their friends decided to film a music video all over a cemetery without permission and without blurring the names out on the gravestones, which is just something that usually people do if they're going to do a photo shoot out in a cemetery. This is another debate that goes back and forth. I know personally, if I was dead, I wouldn't really be bothered by some cosplayers filming a poorly executed video on my grave. Mainly because if I'm dead, I'm not really going to care much about anything because I'm dead. But nevertheless, the internet is how it is, and it became a buzz with anger over this behavior, specifically that Snow was not wearing any underwear with their cosplay, so they just kind of pressed those cheeks all over Grandpa.
You'd be like, hey, do you want to go hang out in a graveyard? And you'd be like, yeah, and you'd go and you'd smoke and you'd hang out in the graveyard. And like, I've had like, there's been raves at graveyards, but apparently it's like a whole thing. Like, you're not supposed to like touch the gravestones or like do any of that. And I never even like, I didn't even like have a, like I knew that you weren't supposed to step on a grave that's recent buried. Like if the grass hasn't grown yet, you're not supposed to step on it. And I knew that. But I didn't know there were so many goddamn rules about graveyards. Like, oh my god. I literally just thought the place was pretty. That's what I get for having no brain cells. You have no brain cells, and the internet hates you. Yeah, like, I still don't understand why it's wrong, but, like, I'm not gonna do it again.
So yes, poor taste, outrage ensued. To make matters worse, Snow apparently lied to fans, claiming they had permission to be there, only to be proven wrong by the people who actually own the cemetery coming out with their own statement that pretty much said, no, we would never give permission for this. I, as superintendent of West Hill Cemetery, have been made aware of this as of this morning. I have already located one Instagram mentioned and gave a stern warning on it for them to stay out of the cemetery or they will be arrested. So pretty much they were banned. And to make matters even worse, the cameraman made a TikTok explaining why what they did was super okay and not offensive at all. Saying, number one, first off, the cemetery was public and attached to a large park. It was a public space and we are legally allowed to visit and blah 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 blah. You get the picture. I'm not going to grandstand this point. If I were them and insistent on doing a shoot in the cemetery, I would have blurred out the names in every shot and not had models stand or swing on the graves. I feel like anybody can agree that was kind of over the line. Maybe call the local police if it was a public property, or if it's private, you call the property owners to make sure it would be okay to do. There are ways to be respectful, and clearly these guys didn't even try to be. It's a graveyard, not a Chuck E. Cheese. So far, Snow seems like a shady character, known to make some pretty stupid mistakes and attempt to lie to justify them. If this was it, I don't think I would have bothered covering this, because none of the things that I've listed particularly, I would say, piss me off. Kind of annoying things, sure, but nothing that's gonna send, like, me personally into an outrage. But don't you guys worry, we have plenty more where that came from. The next couple accusations are more examples of shady behavior. The first being a wig scam that enraged many commission customers, and the next was an incident where apparently Snow needed money to care for kittens that were ill, and allegedly the kittens were not ill at all, and the money raised was pocketed by Snow. This incident is just an allegation. I was unable to find proof on it, but it was another instance where the community as a whole was kind of just outraged over this person's behavior. These two instances were the first that I considered to be legitimately large issues if they were true. While the previous topics were shitty, lame behavior and poor taste, they could be written off as naivety. These two accusations, if true, were just scams, like flat out scams. An influencer asking for money in exchange for a commission or a kitten charity and then not providing a real product or not using the fundraising money for what it was intended for is just a frickin' scam. The wig situation began when Snow started selling $300 commission wigs for Junko through Tumblr. The reasoning behind the price was because $175 was spent on materials and the rest was labor costs. So you would expect some kind of big, elaborate wig to come to you. I don't know if you guys know much about cosplay, but when it comes to wig construction, there's a lot of intricacies that go into it. Sometimes even, like, parts of the wig are actually foam that the hair goes over, like you can glue it to it, because you're not gonna, like, regular hair, you don't really get that anime crazy look unless you're using a ton of hair or you're using foam or something else like that to get it to kind of defy gravity, like you'll see in whatever anime shows you partake in. Another YouTuber, Stardere, was excited to see this listing and quickly purchased a wig. Only when the wig did arrive, it was in a grocery bag, which Star did a video on immediately, criticizing the product she received, with good reason. If I received my wig like that after spending that kind of money, I'd be kind of mad too.
5 clips, which I was confused about because I was like, that's an odd number, and she has 2 pigtails. But then I thought, maybe because of the ponytail. That makes sense. Now, with no letter, nothing in this wig also came with these. I don't know what these are.
If you style a wig, sending it like this will only undo a lot of the work you put into it. Even with a Junko wig, which is designed to be messy and teased, you wouldn't want to just shove it into a bag. Snow responds to this by apologizing in a very strange way. And by strange, I just mean they put off a really entitled, arrogant energy that I wasn't really a big fan of.
Guys, I've noticed a lot of discussion on my Junko wig recently, and a lot of just really incorrect information. So let me walk you through my Junko wig real fast so that it clears everything up. So this is the listing that I buy part of the wig from. I would suggest buying at least 4 of this style here. And this is a secondary style, buy about 2 of these. So if you buy 3 or 4 of one and then 2 of the other, they are different colors, slightly different shades, but that's how I get that darker on the bottom, lighter on top look. So you are gonna take your clips and you are going to strip them off of these little things, and you're gonna add multiple clips on each clip, multiple sets of hair on each clip. If you look through here, there is a very distinct line. You can see the little ties in the middle where this is 2 wigs, and some of them have 3, some of them have more than that. That's how you get the volume. And don't stick your clips on your clips. That's gonna fall off. Stick your clips and stack them up your head.
You know, if they left instructions with the product they sent instead of just shoving it into an old grocery bag and calling it good, that might have helped their case.
And just for those of you who never like to believe anything that comes out of my mouth, let me show you this real fast. This is one clip. You can tell. This is one singular clip. This is one. And this is two clips on a singular clip. They are different sizes. This is way bigger and it'll give you a lot more volume, way more than just two of these stacking on each other, and you'll have more room to stack. Now this, big boys from my old wig, this is four. This is four of those little clips on one. But it doesn't take up the space, and you can just clip one on, then clip another one on, and then another one on, and build it up. Your whole goal is to make the hair go up, and the more individual clips that you can stack on one of these little grabby things, the more volume your hair will have. Like, I don't know how people look at this versus this and go, this is one clip. No, it's not. Has a single clip, but this is more than one clip of hair. And just for those of you, I don't want to actually have to do it because it's a real pain in the ass and it takes forever to stack them correctly and make them look right. But if you open it up, do you see this thing right here? This little thing? Just untie this, and this will just come right off. It'll just come right off the clip. You just have to untie the... I don't want to actually have to do it because it's...
Look me in the face and tell me that this is only 3 clips from Amazon. Look me in the face and tell me that's only 3 clips from Amazon. The last 2 drama things that I'm going to address on this is the graveyard and the kittens. As for the graveyard, I never intended it to be offensive content. It never even crossed my mind. And that doesn't make it any better, and I understand that. There was lots of people's feelings who were hurt, and I am very, very sorry. And I don't mean it like, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, because some people like to take it when I say that. I mean legitimately, I never intended for anyone to be hurt by that. I really never thought that anyone would even care. And when I found out that people did, I was taken aback by it because I really didn't understand. And I understand that now, and I'll never use graves like that again. But I am sorry for like crossing the line between just regular content and something that is offensive. And as for the kittens, it's fucking bullshit. I've proven it's not true. I posted the vet bills. I posted my bank statements proving that I paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars for those kittens.
That's with my commissions. I tell you exactly what you're going to be getting, and I tell you that, I think that I tangle a lot of my wigs on purpose. And I will tell people that, and I will say, hey, in the commission, I'm going to tease it and make it look a certain way, especially for Nikon. Her hair's messy. And people will be like, yes, okay. And then I will send them the wig, and they'll be like, it's tangled. Refund. And I'll go, then send me the wig back. And they'll go, no, you should just refund me. That fucking Junko wig, I offered her a refund. I asked her if she wanted one. She said no. She said she didn't want a refund, that she would keep the wig. Because she wanted me to give her a refund without sending me the wig back. I was like, I'll literally pay for shipping. Just send me the wig back. That's like $200 worth of wigs. You only paid me $100 to style it. But no, she wouldn't give it back to me. So she's like, no, I'm going to keep it. And I was like, okay, well then you keep it then. She wouldn't give it back to me. So she's like, no, I'm going to keep it. And I was like, okay, well then you keep it then. Then you keep it then. And don't complain about it because I offered you a fucking refund. Bitches do nothing but complain, I swear. I mean, I have issues doing commissions because I want to, because I like doing commissions, but at the same time people get really about them. So you just have to see what if you're interested in a Nikon commission, that would be really easy. I do 2 kinds. I do them from Amazon and I do them from Arta with different prices for each because the bases are different prices. I'd have to look up what the bases are to remember, but I usually charge $50 for styling, especially when it's something like Nikon and I've got to put it on a wig head and tease it up and cut it and do all that shit.
Because my Instagram's weak spot. I'm just being real. My shit, look.
She wouldn't get that better off not paying someone for your Nikon wig. You should get an Arta wig, a big nice Arta wig, and then you just fist it with your hands. You do this after you cut it particularly, and bitch, it looks good. You just gotta fist it correctly and jerk on it and throw it on the floor a little bit. Let her roll around.
It was at this point in my research that my impression of Snow was basically an entitled individual who had difficulty admitting their own faults. It can be hard to admit when we as individuals make mistakes and do things considered shady or underhanded, even if malicious intent wasn't involved. I can't speak for their motive behind these incidents because, to give Snow some credit, there is a lack of evidence in the kitten scenario, and Snow never provided more detail that I could find personally involving the wig scenario. But mistakes were clearly made. At their worst, Snow could have been scamming everyone out of greed. At their best, this could have been a lack of business sense due to, being naive and young.
Me posting calling out Snow for the fact that they killed someone and are posting as if they didn't do anything wrong is not searching for clout. But you're a Danganronpa cosplayer, so I'm just gonna assume that that's what you think that is. That's how that works for you.
January 17th. The Harris County District Court states that the social media star was arrested on January 28th after they gave an audio-recorded statement describing the horrific incident which took place. The statement read that Oliver Snow claimed that on January 17th, they recklessly caused the death of their friend by pointing a handgun at them and pulling the trigger. The late victim was a first-year student at Oberlin College. In a statement recorded by the police, Oliver Snow mentioned that they were all drinking and got pretty drunk. They mentioned that they had a firearm of their ex-boyfriend's with them, which they assumed was without bullets. As the cosplayer continued to explain to police that the group of friends were watching Gotham, they told their friend that they had a gun like Penguin does. Their friend innocently joked, "Oh, shoot me." Yandere Freak did not expect the firearm to be loaded and unfortunately pointed the gun at their friend. Oliver Snow was released by police on a $20,000 bond due to their popular online presence. News of their alleged manslaughter circulated online, leaving fans shocked. It was after this that Snow began to post on TikTok again, even making videos like this.
Gromit! Wake up, Gromit! Come on, Gromit! We've got to hide the body! There's no cheese and crackers in prison, Gromit! Now come on! Who will they believe? A man or his dog?
Joking about hiding a body. Outrage was immediate, obviously. Here is a person who seemingly has no remorse, acting like everything is normal, and dancing around in front of a blood-splattered background.
Darling, it's so hard to be 16 and schizo, but I know it's worth the cost.
This is most certainly a terrible move. I cannot see how this wasn't done on purpose to stir up a hate mob. Because common sense would say if you confess to doing something this serious, this sinister, you would act respectfully. If my child's killer was doing this, I'd be mortified. And I can't believe this isn't being covered by larger channels. The family of this victim wants their identity to remain anonymous, which I respect. I did look at the report that was available, and I'm not going to divulge the victim's name. This video isn't about that. It's about a selfish, crappy person who got drunk and decided to play with a loaded weapon. It's to spread awareness, not to support a creator like this, and it's a warning. In case any young people are watching this or watch my channel, don't play with guns or any weapons, especially while under the influence of anything. It's stupid, it's careless, and someone could end up hurt or worse, like in this instance. Yandere Freak, aka Snow's manslaughter case, is expected to proceed with an evidence exchange to be held on October 21st, 2021. Until then, we'll have to wait to see what happens. Thank you for tuning into this video. I very much appreciate it. I know this topic is one of a heavier nature, but I felt I had to talk about it because the way Snow was behaving and dressing up and dancing around and joking about murder while in cosplay just really struck a nerve with me. Even if I played devil's advocate for everything else that was done, trying to give them the benefit of the doubt of, not being a shitty person, Everything here just reads like terrible person to me. And if you support this person, and I don't recommend supporting this person, because how could you? I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like this is pretty straightforward, you know? Anyway, if you like my content, you know, to catch me next time.